Hi guys, it's Krystal Lee Moore Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore. And I wanted to chat with you today about down payment versus deposit. So we talked about first steps in buying a home. To decide that you're going to buy a home, start saving that down payment, which if you remember is at least 5% of the purchase price, if not more, and to assemble your team. When you assemble your team with your realtor, and your lender, you're going to get pre-approved, which is very important. You always want to get pre-approved before you start looking for a home, and then you'll start searching. So that down payment is important, and that down payment gets paid when you get the house. The part that gets paid kind of way sooner is the deposit. What is the deposit? So the deposit is something that you give when you write an offer and it is accepted. So let's start at the very beginning. So you're searching for a house, you find the house that you like, your realtor writes the offer and it's accepted. So there's a lot more to it, back and forth, but let's say we get to the point it is accepted. In that offer, we would have chosen a deposit amount. Why do we have a deposit? So the same way the bank wants a little bit from you to know that you're serious and that you have some skin in the game, the seller wants a little bit from you to know that you're serious and that you have some skin in the game. And that deposit is actually a negotiable thing. In a seller's market like we have right now in Southern Ontario, the sellers get to kind of decide what they want as that deposit. But typically, depending on your market, here in London, it's somewhere between $5,000 and $20,000. On average, what I've seen is about $5,000, if not 10. And it's important to know a few things about the deposit. Number one, you pick it in your offer. So you write, let's say we're going to go with some really easy numbers, round numbers. So let's say you're putting an offer on a home and you offer $400,000. And you say your deposit is going to be $5,000. So the seller agrees to everything, and then you have 24 hours to get that deposit to the listing brokerage. Usually your buyer brokerage, your buyer agent can help you pick that up and figure it out. Sometimes there's an e-transfer option, wire transfer, lots of different ways in COVID times. But basically you want to make sure that whatever amount you said you could give in that offer, you have access to within 24 hours. So this is important because a lot of people are saving up, but maybe you're saving in an account that's not easily accessible. You want to make sure that you've transferred in enough money to your account that you can write a check on or get a bank draft for, that you could get that in 24 hours. So that's an important thing to make sure while you're looking for a house. The other thing that's important to note is that deposit, when your offer is accepted and you bring the deposit, it actually comes off the top of the purchase price. So $400,000 house, $5,000 deposit, the house really for you is now a $395,000 house. And that deposit can actually be part of the down payment. So it's not like you have to come up with your down payment plus the deposit. It can all be together. Those are questions you can ask your lender, but we're just going in basic terms so we can understand today. The other thing that's important, very important, that deposit, let's say you get your offer accepted and you don't bring in the deposit because you change your mind. One of the questions I get from a lot of newer sellers or newer buyers is, hey, can we just change our mind and not bring the deposit? No, that's not actually allowed. If you have an accepted offer, that's a legal contract, and that deposit is part of that. So the contract's already valid once you sign it. The other thing is, let's say you decide for some reason on closing day that you're not going to close. It's not just a matter of losing your deposit. There's a lot more to it. You could actually get sued. So it's important that when you're buying a house, you understand that is a big deal. It's a legal contract and you're purchasing a home. We can talk later about different things that you can do if you change your mind, like you can sell it after it's yours, or sometimes you can assign it if you're allowed to assign it. But at the end of the day, it's a legal contract, and that deposit is a piece of money or a part of the money that the listing brokerage hangs on to until the closing. So that's all for today. If you guys have more questions, as always, reach out. I'm your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore, and I'm happy to help. Take care.